What's up, Weez? Welcome to a different kind of video. Now, I know I've been away for a while, but this is kind of what I've been doing in that empty space. I've been playing a bunch of games. I've been going through the backlog of the years of games I've missed, and I wanted to share a couple with you today. So I got 3 games I have played in the recent time that I've been gone, and like a small review, small overlook about what it is and what I thought about it. But I hope you guys enjoy. This is a new type of thing I want to do. Maybe if you guys are interested, I can stream the games I'm playing. So like in the games here, I can stream those when I'm not uploading. Or if you guys have suggestions of what games I should play, if you think I haven't played them, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like the video if you see a game you like or a game you wanted to play and you finally got the idea to play it off of this. But I will catch you guys in the next video. First on the list is I played the Leviathan DLC from Final Fantasy 16, the newest thing on this list. So good. I am going to be calling it the Leviathan DLC. I know it's called the Rising Tide, but I mean, the main character is the Leviathan here. Let's be honest. Let's be so honest when we talk to ourselves. But this was a great extra chapter to add to Final Fantasy 16. I guess timeline wise, it takes place just right before the final battle, and it was done so well, so much better than Echoes of the Fallen. And that's not even like gameplay wise. Gameplay wise, definitely the same. I mean, if you play Final Fantasy 16, you know exactly what I'm talking about gameplay wise, quest and battles and everything like that. But story wise and integration wise, I think it fits so well. The way they did it, the way they added a new area, the way they integrated new characters and new lore. I think they did a great job. I think my biggest gripe, if I can say that one more time, but my biggest gripe I would say is I don't think the new area needed side quests to implement the blacksmith and the shop and the chocobo station. I don't think they were really needed to implement in that area, but I mean, if they wanted to do that, I mean, that's up to them. So I mean, they weren't even that bad. So they're not the biggest like, you know, negative of the DLC. And in fact, that was probably like the only negative. The thing I do like is they ramped the challenge up in this like crazy. I had my challenges in this. I had my challenge. The boss fights, while they are mostly spectacle, if you play Final Fantasy 16, they definitely presented more challenge in this one than the main story or even Echoes of the Fallen. I think the Leviathan fight was so good, so well done, and actually challenging, which felt so good for this, because once you get to a certain point of FF16, it gets kind of repetitive in how easy the game is. Like maybe after Bahamut in the story mode, the game gets a little easy, and Bahamut is towards the end of the game, but I didn't feel much challenge after that. So this felt really good to have that level of challenge in the game. I think most of the enemies in this were in the 50 to 52 range. So it is on me that I went into the DLC level 49 a little under leveled. Maybe that's why I got some more of the challenge, but still presented the challenge nonetheless. And I did enjoy it that much more because of that. Having, you know, actual harder moves in the Leviathan fight were very fun and very interesting to see, especially since they're the same kind of big telegraph moves, but kind of done in like a different way than I remember in the mainline story and Echoes of the Fallen. But I really did enjoy it, and I really did like it. A great, I don't know if they're going to do more DLC, but for now, I will say a great wrap up to the Final Fantasy 16 game as a whole. I can't wait to see what 17 looks like or whatever we do after that. That being said, I still do have to play the 7 remake and rebirth, so maybe I will catch you guys in that one, but let's go on to the next game. So I just finished Asura's Wrath, and I am so sorry it took me this long to finish this game. I played the demo for this game when it originally released on 360, and I fell in love, but I never got the game. I never did, and here we are in big old 2024, and I've officially finished Peak. It's essentially just I believe it's a Buddhist I don't, God, what is it? It's Kind of just another God of War clone, but it's using I should have done this. Buddhist, yeah, it's a Buddhist mythology type God of War game. Kind of like the older God of War games where it's kind of just like a hack and slash beat 'em up. I guess you can technically call that like a Devil May Cry clone because Devil May Cry was first. But in that sense, in that realm of God of War, as in it uses mythology for its story, and you're kind of a demigod put into this mythology. I don't know how much Asura is actually in real Buddhist mythology, but I remember Kratos is not an actual like a major character in the mythology of the Greek gods. But either way, Asura's Wrath, absolutely peak game. If you played any of the Naruto Storm games, it plays kind of like that fighting style and also story mode style. A lot of the fights are really quick time event heavy, which in most games I would not like, but in the case of Asura's Wrath, where it is all like cinematic, just master class, just spectacle and cinema. I don't mind. I'll do the occasional quick time event if I get to watch an absolute glorious battle. And that's exactly what I get. That's exactly what I get. It's kind of, if you've played the PSP, I believe it's God of War Ghost of Sparta. It is kind of like that God of War in a sense, story-wise, because it's essentially you die and you kind of want to take revenge on the gods like Kratos usually does, but also at the same time saving your daughter because your daughter is actually alive in this one, unlike some other person. But I mean, like as most other games like this, Devil May Cry, God of War, Dante's Inferno. By the way, Dante's Inferno is another game I haven't played. Kind of the minions are like whatever. There's, I think they call them gomas in this, but they have different animals. Chimps, gorillas, turtles, elephants, and like an anglerfish is one of them. But they're kind of just the hack and slash little grunts you fight the whole time. But the big boss fights against the gods. Oh my god, if these aren't absolutely top tier cinematics. Now, if you do play it on the PS5 with the PlayStation Plus streaming service that they have, the frame rate is very choppy, but once you get past that, the artwork looks amazing. The art style for the gameplay, for the cutscenes, look great. It actually gives you a different ending depending on how well you do throughout the story. So it's just, I so wish I played this game earlier, but I'm so glad I'm able to play it. I was actually able to get through all of it. And such a really good, really short run, actually. It was not that long, about 7-ish hours for the entire story. Not bad, I'll take it. But what a fun game. I thoroughly enjoyed this. What a banger. I'm gonna say like 8 out of 10. Alright, so I just finished Rise of the Ronin Platinum. It actually just finished getting the last trophy. And I got kind of a fire game, if I'm gonna be honest. I made a couple notes so we can talk about here just to get it through real quick so I can get you through the thing. First of all, the open world of the game is actually fairly good. I know a lot of people, let me get this off the top. A lot of people were comparing this game to Ghost of Tsushima purely because it was like a samurai game. I don't see that comparison at all. This game, the only way I can compare these two games is story-wise, and they're completely different. As far as like an open world samurai game, you can do that with any samurai game to ever exist that has some type of open world. So I don't really see comparing that here, but I think the open world in Rise of the Ronin was very good. I think the combat mechanics were also very good. I've been told, and this is also from the producers of Neo, that Neo is very similar, and it actually makes me want to play Neo if these are the same, because the weapon mechanics and the amount of weapons was super good. I really liked them. I didn't play too much with like the oxtail blade, the bayonet, or like the spears, but when I had to use all of the weapons for some trophies, and they all felt really good, but I had to stay with my Odachi the whole time. It was the sickest thing I could have had. But my biggest gripe, I have two really big gripes about the game, is that when you start these main story missions, you get to choose 2 teammates from the social links and bonds you can do in this game. And in the beginning, they're very good. They're very good at crowd control and, letting you focus one-on-one battles. But as far as like, I don't know, like later on in the game and boss fights specifically, they're very passive. They really don't do anything until you're like knocking on death's door. So they don't really do anything until you get to like low health or you get completely staggered. That's when they'll come in, and at most they will do like a few hits, and at best they'll take the boss's aggro so you can heal and immediately jump back in. They're not going to completely, they're not going to help you like JJK jump the guy. They're gonna be there just for you to be able to switch characters, because that's the big mechanic of the game. You can switch characters in missions with the two allies that you choose, and that's mostly what they're gonna be for. They're gonna be there so you can switch characters and go revive your main character. That's really all they do. And then the last gripe I really have is that the story can get a little stale. The story kind of overstays its welcome a little bit, and that's because the main plot kind of, for some reason, the main plot takes the bench a lot more than the secondary plot. And I get it, because the secondary plot is like a national war and the main plot is kind of just like a personal vendetta that you have. And the secondary plot kind of takes like a lot of the story and doesn't really focus on the main plot a lot. You'll probably get 2 or 3 points here per chapter, and there's only 3 chapters in the game, so a lot of it is just about the war and the bonds you make. And plus, like, if we're in the 3rd act, why am I doing more training and dojo missions? Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I get, at least in the context of the 3rd chapter, it is an infiltration mission, but like, I don't think we should be doing those kind of missions that late in the game, especially in like the last 5 missions of the game. That should not be one of them. Other than that, I think the game had a very good ending. I got both endings of the game. There's what you yourself can consider the good ending or the bad ending. I got both. I kind of think the bad ending is a little bit better, but I did stick with this is another thing I like, that you can change the timeline of your story. So it has branching paths, but you can go back and change them yourself. I kind of wish I chose the bad ending, because it's really sick, and so I might go back and just make that the canon ending for my playthrough. But I enjoyed it. I would give it like a solid 7.5, 8 out of 10. I enjoyed the game.